ChatGPT had 1 million users within the first 5 days. This is just one of the forms of artificial intelligence in our day and age. But we have been able to see so many different kinds throughout the years. The idea of AI actually started in the 50s, and it's been amazing to see how much has changed. By the year 2030, they expect it annually to grow 37%. And that's quite amazing to think. It's not even done. This is just the beginning. Now, a lot of people might be scared. They don't know. There's a lot of unknowns with it, and a lot of people fear that it will take away jobs. But today we want to talk to you about how AI is good. There are some cons, and we'll go over those, but we want to talk about how the good outweighs the cons and how we're able to use this to our advantage in our day and age. The benefits of AI is it can predict natural disasters. This is one of the amazing things. There's earthquakes and volcanoes, tsunamis. All these things had to be watched by people. As these little earthquakes happen, they would have to monitor it, and that would tell them if an earthquake is about to happen. But someone would always have to be monitoring these devices. Well, with AI now, AI can do it. We don't have to have someone sitting there watching and making sure they're taking notes and paying attention. AI can be able to do it within seconds to be able to predict it. It can help save people. That you never know when a disaster will happen, but this can help save people's lives. A lot of people's concerns with AI is that it will make people lose their jobs. But research actually shows that AI will create 97 million jobs. And that is amazing. Another reason so many business owners are excited about AI is because it's available 24/7. One of the hard parts about owning a business is that you cannot always be there whenever someone needs to answer a question. Whether it's in the middle of the night and something's not working, the website's down, or they just don't know how to use something. They have to talk to a real human being. But with AI, they can do it. They don't need to talk to a real person, and it can save them thousands of dollars where they don't have to have people on call lines. And we all know that feeling when you're on hold waiting to have a question answered, and it takes hours. Literally, you're on hold. Well, AI can stop this, and I think we're all happy if we never have to be on hold again with customer service, because honestly, that's the worst thing. AI also can help in the medical field, which is so amazing. Doctors can predict risk of diseases more quickly than ever before, where they would have to go through their memory, and all of us know it takes us a minute to remember everything and the risk of a disease. Well, with AI, they're able to know right away. They don't have to think. They can put it into their phones and get all the risk. It makes being diagnosed easier. It makes them being able to know how to best help them easier. AI can also assist in complex surgeries. This is an amazing thing where before if any complications happen, they have to talk amongst themselves, but they can use AI to help them on top of that. Not only relying on human knowledge, but AI, which is less likely to make mistakes. Another amazing thing it can do is can monitor and detect neurological disorders. And it's kind of similar to with earthquakes and stuff predicting. People would have to go through and read someone's scans of their brains and see what's happening. Where with AI, we are able to see it faster. They're able to get the test results back right away. Where before, it would take up to a week to get a test result back. And when you're having something that big tested, most people don't want to wait a week. It's scary. It's so amazing all the things that AI can do, and it can help each of us in our lives. And I can't wait to let you hear more about it.
With the increased usage of artificial intelligence, intelligence in the business world, there are a lot of concerns. It is possible that businesses will be harmed by the use of AI because it leads to increased vulnerability to cybersecurity threats. AI systems, due to their reliance on vast amounts of data and complex algorithms, become prime targets for cyber attacks. People may exploit vulnerabilities in AI models, data pipelines, or infrastructure to gain unauthorized access, steal sensitive information, or disrupt operations. In order to prevent this, businesses should invest in important cybersecurity measures, including encryption, access controls, intrusion detection systems, and regular security audits, all to protect AI systems and data from cyber threats. The extensive collection and processing of data by AI systems also increases the risk of data breaches. A successful breach can result in the exposure of sensitive business information such as customer data, intellectual property, or financial records, leading to reputational damage, loss of customer trust, and legal liabilities. Companies should educate employees about cybersecurity practices such as recognizing phishing attempts and using strong passwords to reduce the risk of human error leading to security breaches. Companies should make sure to regularly monitor AI systems for suspicious activity and anomalies. They need to make sure that they are promptly applying software patches and updates to address known vulnerabilities and minimize risk. By employing a multi-layered security approach, businesses can detect cyber threats and utilize AI to their advantage. Another concern here is with bias and discrimination. AI algorithms can inherit bias that is present in the data that they are trained on, leading to biased or discriminatory outcomes. This can result from various sources, including historical societal prejudices, skewed training data, or algorithmic choices. When AI systems become biased, they can become discriminatory, perpetuating biases and amplifying inequalities. For example, AI hiring tools may inadvertently favor candidates from certain demographic groups over others, leading to unfair hiring practices and creating issues with diversity and inclusion in the company. In order to combat this, companies need to ensure that training data used to develop AI algorithms is diverse, representative, and free from bias. They can do this by employing data processing techniques. Companies should also implement measures to increase transparency of AI algorithms, to understand how decisions are made and identify potential biases. They should conduct regular bias audits and impact assessments of AI systems to identify and address potential biases and discriminatory issues in the decision-making process. There are also, however, some legal risks associated with the use of artificial intelligence in business. There are a lot of complex regulations and guidelines associated with data privacy, consumer protection, algorithmic transparency, and ethical AI use. It raises a lot of questions about legal liability and accountability. Businesses may face legal challenges and/or lawsuits if artificial intelligence makes errors, produces undesirable outcomes, or violates regulatory requirements. Determining legal responsibility in cases involving artificial intelligence can be quite challenging, especially when human oversight and intervention is limited. What is important here for businesses is to stay informed about regulations and guidelines governing AI use in operations. This includes data privacy laws, consumer protection regulations, and other industry-specific standards. They should make sure to have a framework, track these requirements, assess risks, and implement necessary measures to make sure that they are within regulations. Companies need to make sure that they are engaging with regulators and providing input. By participating in the system, they can make sure that they understand and are staying up to date with expectations as well as addressing the challenges. Companies should also engage and work with legal counsel to assess legal risks associated with artificial intelligence use. This includes potential liabilities, contractual obligations, intellectual property rights, etc. If companies work with legal counsel from the start, they can make sure to develop risk mitigation strategies to protect the business.
We just heard Rebecca talk about some really concerning problems with AI in the legal system. However, I kind of wanted to flip to another side of some issues that have been raised about artificial intelligence, especially in schooling and in the workforce. The first one is the over-reliance on AI. Now, a lot of places, especially colleges, are concerned that their students are relying too heavily on AI, and this is diminishing their critical thinking. this is not only huge in college, but also once they get out of college. I've heard the joke a lot recently that the nurses who are graduating over the next couple of years are AI certified nurses because they're only passing their classes due to the AI that they're able to use and not because they know what they've been learning about, which is concerning because personally, I would want somebody who actually knows what they're doing if I'm having an issue over somebody who learned off of AI. And the studies have already shown that it is limiting students when it comes to learning because they're relying too heavily on AI. With this also brings up some ethical concerns. When you have people like nurses who are supposed to be able to give us the best medical help and advice that we can, not actually fully understanding what they are supposed to have knowledge of, that brings in a lot of ethical concerns. But on top of that, there's ethical concerns in what AI might be teaching us. Because AI is auto-generated, it still has human bias in it because we as humans created it. So there is a lot of concern that AI is already creating bias. I know Rebecca talked about some of the biases in like the hiring and stuff like that, but there's also been issues with AI being biased in convincing narratives, which is concerning because they also did a study where students were asked how much they believe in AI, and most students said that they believed that AI was always 100% correct. However, they then started inputting math equations into AI, and AI would also get the math equations wrong. And then they brought up the point that math equations haven't changed, most math equations haven't changed for years, 10 on 20 years, right? We've kept the same formulas. My mom and I learned the same math formulas, and she went to school in the 60s, and I'm going to school now. And so these formulas haven't changed, so you would think that something so simple as a math formula would be easily computable by AI, but it's still missing these problems. So when you have students like nurses who are taking what AI says as face value when it could be incorrect, it is extremely concerning and can bring up a lot of ethical issues. On top of that, they are also concerned about how AI is going to affect the job force. A lot of people are assuming that there's going to be a job loss, and so far it seems like that will be occurring. In most advanced economies, 60% of jobs have been or will be impacted by AI. They kind of have split it at 50-50 right now because they don't have the studies, because there's not a lot of history on AI yet. But they're saying about 50% of the jobs may benefit from AI integration and will help increase productivity, but they also mention that these are some of the higher up jobs, like CEO jobs, where they can just kind of input some stuff that they need into AI and not have to worry too much about it. However, they did say that a lot of the lower wage jobs and a lot of the lower level jobs will likely disappear because of AI. And this is because they can use AI applications to do the tasks that are performed by humans that don't take as much brain power. They can just have AI quickly do it for them instead of having to worry about a human. But because of this, they've already seen a little bit lower labor demand in jobs like this, where the humans have already been replaced. And on top of that, it's been leading to lower wages and reduced hiring. So you're also starting to see some of these jobs disappear. And while it hasn't been drastic yet, because AI is so new, we aren't sure what the full cause of this will be. They also are saying that because of this, it will affect income and wealth inequality as some of these lower level jobs start to disappear. And it really seems like the only jobs that will succeed are the workers who are able to use AI to increase their productivity and wages. However, they've also started to say that this will affect the older workers as they struggle to adapt with technology. And some younger workers may be able to climb up the ranks without the knowledge because they're able to use AI and utilize that instead of having the actual knowledge to do their jobs. So I think this brings up quite a few solid points on why AI has some concerning issues that need to be addressed before we just let it spread everywhere. To me, I think as fantastic as technology can be, if we don't learn to limit it and put into place certain things to block this ethical dilemma.
Now, we have heard both sides to the argument of artificial intelligence. We've heard the benefits that come with artificial intelligence, and that there's lots to come, such as job creations and the improvements in different fields, such as the medical field and other aspects of business. And now we know, as we stated before, that artificial intelligence is up and coming, and there's lots of people who are doing many things to push this forward, and this is the new wave of the future. However, we do know there are some negative effects, as we've just heard about, the potential of security threats and lawsuits and the loss of human touch on things. However, these can also be good things, as we know, such as the benefits that come with that, such as reduce of human error. The reduce of human error can be things such as more accurate insights. Humans are more adapted to visuals when AI can just look at numbers and just look at those things and make decisions, where sometimes humans can put their emotions into things. And so this can benefit in a lot of ways when helping businesses and other aspects of our society. The next is improving decision making. Faster, more accurate decision making can be done with artificial intelligence. As we just stated, there's not as much emotion put into it. It can just look at these numbers and this big data that sometimes we as humans, it takes longer for us to process and figure out these equations and such things. And it can just take it rather rapidly and make it more accurate and help us make those decisions quicker for our businesses. And next is focus on numbers and statistics. As I just mentioned, that is a lot of what artificial intelligence can do rather quickly. Last, it will help our industries in decision making. In closing, I want to wrap up all that we have said today, and that there's lots of benefits to AI, as we've mentioned, such as predicting natural disasters, which is something that we've never been able to do. However, artificial intelligence can do this and could lead and save many lives and keep everyone safe in certain areas. And another is it's available 24/7, as us humans aren't able to do that, as we may be needing sleep or whatever it is. AI can be there at any second. It can create jobs, as we know that this is something we believe that can happen, but we don't know for sure, as we know that there are some doubters that they may lose jobs in human, but research is starting to show that it actually may create lots of jobs. It will help in the medical field. Doctors are going to be able to use it to help diagnose people and help out in creating new surgeries and life-saving measures. As we know, there are some concerns of cybersecurity, legal risk, over-reliance of AI, and bias. Just like with anything, there's pros and cons to everything. And but overall, we feel like the benefits of AI are larger than the negatives, such as reducing human error and improving decision making. But today we want to say we have a call to action for you, and it's to learn more about AI and get educated yourself on this topic. As we all know that this is so new that not all of us know everything about it, and we may not know everything about it for a while, but the best thing that we can do now is to stay educated, research and learn more about these things. That way we can have a better understanding of what it is, and as more and more come out, continue to stay educated. That way you can have your own opinion on whether to use AI for specific things, or when time comes, if we feel like there needs to be more restrictions on it, then you can raise your voice, or you can say, hey, we don't need restrictions. But our final call to action for you today is to learn more and get educated on the AI. Well, thank you so much for listening to our presentation on the benefits of artificial intelligence and the effects it will have on our society moving forward. And we want to thank you for your time, and see you soon.